Hi, I'm Mackenzie.
I'm Miles.
I'm Cheyenne.
I'm also Mackenzie.
I'm Lydia.
And we are the Georgia Southern Film Production Company. And throughout our presentation, we will be showing your team leaders and employees how to create more effective teams based off of your group's strengths.
Okay, so one thing that we have always heard since we were young is that every person is different. This also means that everyone thrives and or struggles in different situations. Now, as team leaders, one of your main problems is going to be figuring out where your team strives and where they struggles. One very useful tool to get through this is the Clifton Strength Assessment. Now, the strength can be used to determine how your team will work at their best by answering these two questions. What are we good at and what we struggle with? Now, in the strengths, there are 34 different strengths and they are divided into 4 domains. And these domains are based on how people work together to accomplish their goal. The first domain is executing. And that determines how people make things happen. But someone with a majority of their top with a majority of their top 5 strengths in executing, they're going to be the people who are going to be really good at getting things done, and those are the people you're going to want to lean on when you need to get something done. The second domain is influencing. Now, these people are your marketing department. They are really good at selling ideas, not only to people inside your group, but also to people around you. Third domain is relationship building. And here is where you have people building and maintaining strong relationships. These people are the glue that keep the group together, and they are really the people you want to lean on when you need to bring a group together. The last domain is strategic thinking, and this deals how you take in information. Someone with a lot of strength in strategic thinking can be used, they're best utilized when you need someone to say what things can be done and for moving your group's thinking into the future.
Great. So some examples of how our team used our strengths to build our effective team for this video was we used our strengths to assign roles and tasks of how we were going to complete the project. So Miles, for example, was designated as the organizer based on his analytical harmony and input talents, while Lydia was designated as the mediator based on her discipline, harmony, and focus talents. So basically, you can use the overall domains as well as individual talents to find the tasks and roles where people are going to excel and kind of fit the people like puzzle pieces into roles where their strengths fit to make the team run smoothly.
So another method we use in our company is the enabling others to act method. This entails creating a climate of trust where everyone in the team can trust each other. Also being able to facilitate relationships where you strive to fully get to know each person and their interests. By doing this, each member in the team should be able to appreciate that they need others to be most successful. Also, as a team, it is important to develop cooperative goals and roles. This means the group should have shared goals of a clear reason for being together. In our company, we each have specified roles that we contribute to doing to make everything run successfully. It is very crucial to assign roles to your team so every member contributes something that is effective. You want to make sure there is no in-groups or out-groups or competition for attention among members. With this being said, every individual should have the ability to contribute equally to the efforts of your team.
You're on mute. Your mic is muted.
Thank you. So some examples of how enabling others to act played out in our group for this video was how we provided choices. So when we were assigning the group roles based on our strengths, we let each team member kind of choose their own role based on their strengths. And this enables people to act because they feel more invested when they have the freedom of choice. And we also use GroupMe and Google Slides and other Google things to foster trust and collaboration and relationships where we can work independently but also check up on each other and see how we're working and just kind of check on the progress of the project as we go. And yeah.
So our next part of this leadership is inspiring a shared vision. And so you have to show others how a shared vision for the team can help them achieve their long-term aspirations. Leaders should practice bringing their team along and really listening to everyone's aspirations for the project. This allows people to find their shared goal and allows the team like a common goal that they desire to achieve. And so this also allows people to see the bigger picture they're working towards and to tell them the essential role they play in achieving this goal, and that they have that important role to make them feel like they're contributing to this project. And so nothing is accomplished alone. We have to listen and truly trust our team in order to accomplish the best end goal we possibly can. And that's only by inspiring people through a vision that everyone believes in.
So the best example of inspiring a shared vision on our team for this project was that our common purpose and vision was to complete this project on time and to the best of our abilities. So we all kind of had our own ideas of like what it would look like, but when we all came together, we all really rallied around the idea of like, we're going to get this done. It's going to be great. This is how we're going to do it. And because we united around this goal, we were able to overcome all of our scheduling conflicts and other obligations to complete it on time. So that just really shows how uniting around a single vision like helps people work together and overcome individual challenges to meet a group goal.
So, what are group dynamics? Group dynamics refer to the attitudinal and behavioral characteristics of a group. Group dynamics concern how groups perform, their structure and process, and how they function. When forming a team, you have to understand that there's never going to be a perfect group where the stars align, because every individual lives a unique life with different factors affecting their day-to-day availability. There are 4 building blocks of a group dynamic: forming, storming, norming, and performing. Forming is the creation of the group for the project. Storming is where the most conflict usually occurs in the group, because that's when you're all trying to figure out when you guys are the most available in order to complete the project, as well as assigning other roles for the project. Performing is the final aspect of the group dynamics, and that is where all the hard work that your team members have put into this project have paid off, so that way we can see the inspired vision that we once shared all come to life.
So this is kind of a rundown of how we saw the group dynamics play out during the making of this video. So during our forming stage, we really worked to clarify what the project would be about and what each of our strengths were, so we could work on assigning roles and kind of just get to know each other and orient ourselves to the task. And then during the storming stage, our main source of conflict was scheduling, because everyone's super busy, everyone's got a lot going on, and it became a challenge to find times to work together and time to work on our individual responsibilities. And we also started to experience confusion about roles and responsibilities. But once you work through storming, you get to norming, where we redefined how we were going to approach the project, and we started to talk more openly and voice our concerns about time management. And we were able to take more action and kind of settle into new roles and really get comfortable in what we were doing enough to finish the project, which leads to performing, where we all came together and were very adaptable and were able to use our strengths to the best of our ability to get this project done. So that's kind of an example of how group dynamics can play out, and it also is like a reflection on how this worked out for us. And I kind of want to close this out by having a reflection on how we saw each other's strengths during this project. So I'll just go first. I saw Mackenzie Wilson, she has a lot of strengths in the executing domain, and I think she really showed that when, we got on the Zoom and everyone had a vision of like, okay, this is what I'm going to say, this is what I'm going to do, but obviously you have to shift and mold that to fit the group vision. And she was very good about like thinking on the fly and being like, hey, I'm just going to do this. Does that sound good to y'all? And we were like, yes, of course, sounds great. And was able to put something out there that was really good kind of on the fly. And also she just takes, like, if she says she's going to do something, she's going to do it and finish it out and execute that task one way or another.
So I'd like to speak about one of Cheyenne's strengths, which was harmony. And from the moment that we really got the project, Cheyenne was the main one communicating with everybody, trying to see where everybody stood on assigning roles. And she was just really there making sure that everything was working well together for the group in order for us to complete the project. And side note, norming, which I forgot to explain, is just when everybody's in flow. It's when your team has finally reached the stage of flow, everybody knows what their assigned roles are, and it's just when your team is working together in kind of a seamless unity.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about Miles. So a lot of his strengths are within strategic thinking. And so this really allowed him to have all of our like rules and guidelines and just anything we needed to follow for this project, he had them set. And so whenever we came in, whenever we had questions, he knew exactly how to answer. And so that allowed the rest of our strengths to kind of come together and build that around the foundation that he gave us.
And I'm going to talk a little about Lydia. Like 3 of her strengths are in the domain of executing. And with that, she really just kind of took charge of taking responsibility, getting stuff done. An example of this came really early when we had to turn in our pilot map. She was the main one, like, okay, guys, I'm gonna need this from you. I'm gonna need this. Let's get it all together, put together, and turned in, so we can get that first step in this whole project done and over with and behind us.
So with Mackenzie Thomas, I was able to see her top theme, futuristic, come into play because when we were doing this project, she gave us the idea of doing like practice rounds. So it was clear to see that she was already looking into the future of what, problems that we may encounter and how we could fix them. And overall, I think that she just has like a go with the flow attitude. So I think that that definitely showed the futuristic aspect on her part.
So this basically concludes our mini project on how to turn your teams into more effective teams by using everybody's individual and unique strengths to the best of their ability. So that way, when we come together, we are working in unison to create the inspired vision that we all shared.